flag is waving for the rolling lap. Brisca F2's heat number 1. The green flag drops on the first race action of the evening, and there's 4 abreast and a big contact into the marker tyre there for one of our racers. 213 Tom Bennett it is, the driver who collects the marker tyre, and that brings out an instant red flag with the marker tyre sitting right in the middle of the track. The 213 driver sent. So the green flag drops once more on Brisca Formula 2's heat number 1 at the second time of asking. They've all managed to get round that final turn as Ryan Gardner leads on to the back straight in 4.54. The bumpers go in for the back, and we've got a spinner amongst the star graders. Might be Ethan Gemmell that's gone around, I'll check on that. But it's 4.54 from 17 Paul Reid and 5.46 Charlie Folan, who leads the way in the early stages of this one. The defending world champion relegated down to the back of the field. It was Ethan Gemmell in car number 50 who joins in at the very back, as 17 Paul Reid, the local man from Cowdenbeath. A short journey up to Knockhill this evening for him as he looks to try to close the gap on Ryan Gardner, who's joining us from south of the border. Got a car in the wall just down on the entry to the back straight, and that's bringing out the yellow flags with drama there for that car. Unfortunately, right on the racing line, unable to leave that driver there because he would very much like it. Once again, here we go. So the green flag drops. Jack Witt certainly looking quick away there in 880. We'll see if the steward has anything to say about that one. It's 4.54. Ryan Gardner who still leads, but the bumpers all going down there on the hairpin bend. Cars out of control, including Jack Witt's. We've got cars going backwards and all sorts down there. So these drivers absolutely desperate to get to the front of the field. It's the former Scottish champion, 41 Dennis Midler, who now leads onto the back straight. The 41 driver returning to Brisca F2 racing last season, and Gordon Moody was again an unlucky driver there who went backwards on the back straight, so he's going to struggle now to qualify for this one. Change on for the lead at 6.74. Stephen McGoyne, who's now up into top spot from 41 Dennis Midler, and 6.29 Ewan Miller. So dramatic stuff. Got another spinner down there. 9.35 Nathan Maidment, one of our visitors from the southwest of England, and Ryan Gardner, the white top, is also gone at the end of the back straight. So we're at half distance, half the race still to go, as indicated by the Scottish Salt tyre waved by Mr. Starter. And well into the home straight comes the race leader, 6.74 Stephen McGoyne from 6.29 Ewan Miller. 5.46 Charlie Folan, by my eyes, looks to be in that final 8th qualifying spot at the moment. Danny Rang in 1.18, his nearest challenger for that position. So 6.74 though. Stephen McGoyne streaks in the lead down the back straight. 192, Brian Hogg, the tyres squeal for him as the world champion Gordon Moody tries to catch up with them. Little battle now developing for third place with 213 Tom Bennett, 41 Dennis Midler involved in this one. Midler gets moved aside and loses that place with Ethan Gemmell tucked in behind them as it's 4 laps to go for the race leader. 213 holding on, 975 Graham Legge, who's had an excellent season so far along the road and the race wall. So into the home straight with 3 laps to go comes your race leader, 674 Stephen McGoyne. Ewan Miller, a former Scottish champion, in second. I mentioned the Scottish champion because that is the feature trophy on Sunday afternoon's meeting at the race wall this weekend. But it's 674 Stephen McGoyne who leads the way in this one. For the back, Gordon Moody still in sight. He can see 8th place in 5:46 Charlie Folan. He just can't get there quick enough because it is just 1 lap to go for 674 Stephen McGoyne. This might be Moody's hopes because 546 and 118 are battling it out for that final qualifying spot, and Moody might well get there, you know. It's all eyes on Moody's fight to qualify as McGoyne takes the win down the back straight. Moody's up the inside of Folan and Moody into a qualifying spot. Rang across 192 through for that position as the rest of the field come through. And it is though 674 Stephen. So the green flag drops on Brisca Formula 2's heat number 2. Paul Moss, another one of our Cornish drivers here this afternoon. At 6:47, Chris McGoyne wrestles for control. The car snaked down the home straight there, but he's gathered it all together. It's still Bradley Clayton leading from Charlie Fakeney at 6:75. Chaos here's 854 Robbie Dawson, 16 Craig Wallace and 92 John Hogg. All hit troubles early on, so it's the Star Graders who seem to be wanting the most in all of tonight's race action so far, as they have struck problems. 24 John Palmer, the first of the Star Graders to show, heading on to the back straight. As up front then we've got the race leader 675 Charlie Fakeney. Paul Ford from the Scottish Borders up and into second place. Paul was racing down at St Day near Land's End on Saturday and at Taunton on Sunday afternoon, where I was commentating at both of those meetings, and Paul picking up some great results. Meanwhile, drama further back for the number 15 car as he entered the gravel trap on the back straight. So Paul Ford in 288 looking to close in on the 675 driver. More dramas. 231 goes a spin, and Rebecca Reid in 617 slows up on the exit from the back straight. Rebecca Reid manages to get going just as the race leaders go by. Meanwhile, John Palmer in a brilliant scrap with Chris McGoyne in 6:47 and 1:84. Aaron Mate for position. McGoyne's managed to get ahead of the 24 driver with Aaron Mate tucked in behind them. It's still the yellow top leading, but maybe not for long, because 288 Paul Ford dives to the inside on the hairpin bend and is through for position as Liam Kaluha retires here on the home straight. So 288 takes the halfway mark in Brisca M2's heat number 2. 675 in second, so Chris McGoyne still got a chance to catch these lead two as they head on to the back straight. line at 79. Paul Moss looks like he may be in that 8th qualifying spot at the moment. The commentators cuss strikes, and just as I say that, he pulls into retirement back up the home straight. So 6.75 Charlie Faithful being swallowed up now by the pack as the race leader. 2.88 Paul Ford heads around and into the home straight once more. So 2.88 with 5 laps to go. 8.11 Kai Rushby up and into second from 6.47 Chris McGoy, and 24 John Palmer keeping in contact with him. It is though into the home straight with 4 laps. 2.88 Paul Ford, 2.31 the white top is a lap down. So into second goes 6.47 Chris McGoy, moves past English visitor Kai Rushby, who drops down to third and now has his fellow countryman 24 John Palmer on his tail. Into the home straight 6.75 Charlie Faithful, all out of shape, gathers it together without losing too much time as the race leader then 2.88 completes another lap of the circuit. 6.47 in second and closing fast. He's got a lap and a half to catch the race leader. So 2.88 up the hill and onto the home straight as Paul Ford onto his final lap of the circuit. A spinner further back, Charlie Faithful's gone around, dropping him potentially out of the top 8 positions. 2.88 Paul Ford it is though, who's going to come round the final turn into the home straight to take victory in Brisca Formula 2's heat number 2. Great to see Paul winning here tonight at Knockhill. Keeping me straight here in the control box. So the green flag drops on the Consolation event. The top 10 finishers in this one going through to create a 26-car grand final. The cars duke it out for position. In the early stages of this one, it's Ryan Gardner leading from Bradley Clayton in second, and 17 Paul Reid, who retired from his earlier heat. Good to see Rhys Cox here, 149, driving one of the John Palmer machines. As the bumpers go in, heading into the home straight as Paul Moss on the tail of I think it's 854 there, but we'll check on that, or it's maybe 92. I'm squinting into the sunshine here as the drivers come into the home straight once more. 5.46 Charlie Folland now losing a place as Ryan Gardner continues in the lead. So 4.54 it is. Leading the early stages of this one from Bradley Clayton in second. It was 92 John Hogg who was the driver. Similar colour scheme to the Dawson car. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Maybe should have gone to Specsavers. One driver who doesn't need to have gone to Specsavers is Gordon Moody, who is a man on a mission. He's up into second place already in this Consolation event. Just Ryan Gardner in 4.54 now for the number 7 driver to close in on. 5.14 Rhys McIntosh, another one of the local drivers yet to qualify for the meeting final. Oh, drama for Rebecca Reid in 6.17, who loses out on the back straight. So it's 4.54 from 7. And 5.14 Rhys McIntosh up and into third place. So the halfway flag being readied for our race leader, 454, Ryan Gardner, but he's about to lose that lead, you would think, to number 7, Gordon Moody, as the world champion powers by on the back straight. 92, John Hogg, looking to get up and into 5th and 4th place in the battle with 935, Nathan Maidman, one of our Southwest visitors. The cars scrabble for grip, including Rhys Kelly in 3:39. Former Mini Stocks races, Rhys, and concentrates his racing efforts up at Cribben Raceway. As on to the back straight then, number 7 extends his leads. Ryan Gardner trying to hold on for second at the moment. He has 514, Rhys McIntosh on his rear bumper heading into the home straight with 5 laps to go. 92 behind them with 935 as Paul Moss sits in a qualifying spot at the moment. Rhys McIntosh up the inside of 454 for second. 454 almost into the wall down there between what is really turns 2 and 3 on this Trioval. Gordon Moody in amongst some back-marking traffic. Such is his pace here in this Consolation event with 3 laps to go. He's got the bit between his teeth. 92, John Hogg now looking to snatch third from 454, Ryan Gardner. He manages to do that on the back straight, but Gardner still in one of those important qualifying spots. Just 2 laps of the Sutton to do then for the top 10 to qualify to this evening's final. Gordon Moody, barring any sort of mechanical woes, looks safely in control of this one as he takes the last lap board for Mr. Starter. Nathan Maidman past the back marking 617 machine, with Paul Reid still in contention for qualifying spots also. Bradley Clayton and Rhys Cox battle it out as Moody crosses the line first, but Rhys McIntosh and John Hogg completes your top 3 in tonight's Consolation event. Oh, Rebecca Reid spun there by Charlie Fakeney right on the line as the rest of the field come round to conclude Brisca Formula 2's fires on the raceway. Best of luck, it's your 2026 Brisca Supreme Championship. Seeing the world champion line up at the back of the grid. So the green flag drops on your Brisca Supreme Championship. 454 Ryan Gardner leads the way from the white grade, the only white top qualifier here this evening. Oh, we've got a spin amongst the blue and right across the track. Everyone's managed to avoid them at the moment. Heart-stopping stuff because the car's at full pelt. The world champions got involved down there. Drama as they entered into turn 2 off the back straight, and the world champions race is done because he's tangled there. We've got cars going flying out in the wall down on there. One of the Burgoyne moved so that bringing out the red flags, or initially the yellow, then the reds, but we're about to get underway. Take 2 of the Brisca Supreme Championship. So the green flag drops on take two of your Brisca Supreme Championship. The cars head to the home straight, and we've got a spinner 975, Graham Leakey. Again, lucky not to be collected by the field. The drivers piling in down there on the exit of the hairpin bend. The drivers are not letting up 1 inch tonight here at Knockhill in the sunshine, giving it all in front of this great midweek crowd. It's 4-5-4, Ryan Gardner, who's still in the lead, being harried all the way by 17 Paul Reid. Looking to the first of the star graders is 184 Aaron Maid from 213 Tom Bennett as Craig Wallace goes out wide. The question, of course, is, has Gordon Mooney picked up any damage in that incident when he tangled with the 647 driver? He'd managed to release himself from that one, and it doesn't seem to be slowing him yet. But nonetheless, the others ahead of him managing to maintain their distance. As Ryan Gardner leads, we've got more drama heading into turn two. Car goes out very wide. It was Nathan Maidman who rejoins without losing too many places, as Jack Wins now manages to get by him in 880. It's Gardner leading from 17 Paul Reid, then Paul Ford, previous heat winner of course, 674. Stephen McGoyne, the earlier heat winner also. So will be one of them who take the checkered flag in this one, an extended 20 racing lap distance in your Brisca Formula 2 Supreme Championship final. Gordon Mooney now passed by 92 John Hogg. Into the back straight, the number 7 driver tried to come back at 92. As it's still 4-5-4, Ryan Gardner leading on to the back straight. Paul Ford now into second place as 514 Rhys McIntosh also makes progress. So 288 Paul Ford onto the tail of 454 as Charlie Ford goes out wide here in the home straight. The top three head around turn 3 into the home straight and past Mr. Starter. Ryan Gardner holding on in the lead. Rhys McIntosh has Tom Bennett, the first of the star graders, behind them. Heading on to the back straight with Stephen McGoyne as we are about to reach half distance. Half the race still to go in this Supreme Championship battle. And Ryan Gardner, the plucky white top, still out in front. They get shoved out wide into the gravel by Ford, and unfortunately for Gardner, he's lost 6, 7, 8, 9 places in the progress. It's Paul Ford then from 17, Paul Reid, with Tom Bennett, the Lincolnshire man, in third. The young charger who's made frequent visits to Scotland since he took up the formula. Retirements on the back straight with 514 Rhys McIntosh out of this, and 454 Ryan Gardner, I think another unfortunate retiree. Reid's now losing out to both Tom Bennett and 674 Stephen McGoyne in second and third. So it's the superstar drivers looking to close in on 288 Paul Ford for the race victory. And the pace is on for 213 Tom Bennett. He's starting to close on a blue top race leader, 288 Paul Ford from the Scottish borders, 213 Tom Bennett from Lincolnshire, and then Stephen McGoyne from Airth. As the lap boards go out, it's 5 laps to go for 288 Paul Ford. Out through injury in the opening part of the season. It's Ford who leads the way. 213 though, Tom Bennett now within a car's legs, and he is closing. It's 288 and 213 with 674 waiting to pick up the pieces if the challenge goes wrong for Tom Bennett, who's onto the back straight. The bumper goes in on turn 2. Ford out wide, and here's McGoyne's chance with 3 laps to go. McGoyne is up into second. Ford now drops down to third. Is he the one who's going to pick up the pieces? The bumper goes in. Bennett goes around. and it's now Scotland first and second, with John Palmer coming through into third. There's just 2 laps to go for 288. Paul Ford 674, Stephen McGoyne in second, and don't discount John Palmer from this. McGoyne on the tail, he's back up the inside of Ford. Ford cuts back up the inside, he's going to be on the back bumper with 1 lap to go. It's now or never for 288. Paul Ford, he's in on the bumper of 674. He did make the contact there. Woolley going into turn 2. It's 674, 288 and 24. Round into the home straight. Stephen McGoyne takes the win. Paul Ford second from 24. John Palmer in third. So 27 cars on the raceway for Brisca F2 Grand National. And the final green flag of the evening drops. The bumpers have gone flying in, cars go rattling in to the wall down there between turns 2 and 3. We've got cars stranded, including Kieran Howie. I think Paul Ford might be involved in all of that as well, and that brings out a yellow flag, and I think the red is being reached. So the green flag drops on the Grand National event. I'm saying nothing as cars go flying out wide down there onto the hairpin bend, including the number 15 machine. Remember, Stephen McGoyne on the lap handicap, so it's Ryan Gardner who leads the way. Gardner was unlucky to be bundled out of the grand final early on, as Graham Leckie also just out wide here on the home straight. John Palmer's made a rapid start. He is tucked in behind 184 Aaron Bates as the cars head around onto the back straight once more. It is 454 Ryan Gardner, 514 Reece McIntosh now up into second place. Driver still able to score valuable World Championship qualifying points from this event as John Palmer forces his way up the inside of the 184 car. He was a visitor here last year's World Qualifier, and he certainly seems to have the line licked round here. He was talking about how hard it is to control the car in the post-race interview on the Brisca Supreme Top 3. 16 Craig Wallace, the former British champion, around the hairpin bend and onto the back straight. As 674 Stephen McGoyne up and past some of the marking traffic. Still Ryan Gardner leading, is all out of control with 41 Dennis Midler, just as 16 Craig Wallace tries to fight his way through. Dennis did well to hold on to that, but he's lost that place now. Drops down to fourth with John Palmer threatening behind. So it's Wallace, the first of the star graders to show. 647 Chris McGoyne, the first of the superstars. It is out in front, Reece McIntosh at 514, who's taken over at the front of the field. 454 in that second place. 16 Craig Wallace is heading down the back straight with the 24 cars. 617 Rebecca Reed goes out wide once more. A battle with Stephen McGoy, forcing his way past 9.79. Paul Moss as he gains another place. McGoy making progress from the lap handicap. It's still 5.14 from 4.54. Gardner's had little to show for his efforts so far this evening. He heads down the back straight in second at the moment from the 16 driver. As the first on the lap boards goes out then, it's 5 laps to go for 5.14 Rhys McIntosh. We've lost, looks like 6.29 Ewan Miller down at the airport bend at some point. 5.14 though from 16 is 4.54. Ryan Gardner's dropped down to fourth. John Palmer now up and past 16 for second. So Palmer into that second place. 16 drops to third with 4.54 in fourth. With 3 laps to go then. Gardner now has 41. Dennis Midler behind them. Then Chris McGoy. Stephen McGoy in a battle there with 50 Ethan Gemmell. It's now Graham Leckie ahead of the 6.74 drivers. It's 2 laps to go. And Gardner gets a shove from 41. Dennis Midler. And once again Gardner forced out wide. He loses time. And now he's got Baton Moody behind them. Gordon Moody in number 7 tucked in behind the 184 driver with a lap to go. Ryan Gardner still inside the top 10, I think, as the race leader. 5.14 Rhys McIntosh comes round to take the checkered flag, and the win. John Palmer in second. It's a scrabble for the minor places as they come through, as Stephen McGoy can't quite get on terms with 4.54 Ryan Gardner at the flag. But excellent racing from the Brisca Formula 2 drivers tonight.